Being single is supposed to be freedom, right? You've got your own schedule, your own bed, your own remote. You can eat popcorn for dinner without anybody asking if you're planning to share. And yet, for a lot of people, single life doesn't feel like freedom. It feels like sitting in the waiting room at the doctor's office. You're not really living, you're just passing time until your name gets called. Only in this case, you're waiting for love to call your name. That's the trap. When single life turns into a holding pattern, you start shrinking your world. You stop booking trips. You stop buying nice sheets. You stop saying yes to fun things because in your mind, all the good stuff is supposed to happen later. Later when you're in a relationship. Later when you're part of a couple again. But here's the thing, later isn't guaranteed for any of us. And even if it does come, do you really want to look back and realize you benched yourself for years waiting? The truth is, the better you live now, the better your dating life becomes. You're not desperate, you're not auditioning, you're not begging somebody else to spark you alive. You're already living, and that's exactly what draws the right person in. So today we're talking about how to be single without feeling like you're just waiting to be unsingle. If that sounds at all interesting, I hope you'll stick around because that's what's on the agenda. Let's start with this waiting room problem because the waiting room is where people lose the most time. Picture those beige walls, the outdated magazines, the TV tuned to a channel nobody's ever heard of. You're just killing time. That's how a lot of people treat single life, killing time. The waiting room mindset says, I'll go on the trip once I have a partner. I'll join that class once I have somebody to go with me. I'll finally splurge on the good towels once I'm married again. It's a whole list of maybes and laters, and the longer you wait, the smaller your life gets. And here's the thing nobody likes to admit. Waiting makes you harder to date. That waiting energy is really heavy, and it comes across as, please come rescue me from my boring life. Nobody wants to sign up for that job. People are drawn to partners who are vibrant, not partners who are waiting. So how do you get out of the waiting room? You take back your calendar. You stop organizing your life around a relationship that doesn't even exist yet. This doesn't mean filling every square on your planner. It means saying yes to things that bring you joy now or might bring you joy. I mean, take the darn trip. Try that new restaurant. Sign up for the painting class that interests you. Buy yourself a new robe now. If you keep waiting until you're partnered, you're teaching yourself that your joy is conditional, and that's no way to live. And the bonus is that this makes you magnetic when you do date, because you're not sitting across the table asking somebody to build your whole life for you. You've already got a fantastic life. You're just asking somebody, hey, do you want to come join me? Living while you're single isn't code for keeping yourself busy. It's about making sure your life actually feels like it's yours, not a placeholder until somebody shows up. A couple years ago, my mom got really impressed by my videos when she was finally forced onto social media and watched a couple of them. By me, obviously. So a few weeks go by, and she swings by my house to return some of my, glass storage containers. We've been in a 20-year cycle of swapping side dishes like it's currency. And she gives me this very serious look, and she says, Carrie, that red subscribe button, does it charge people when they press it? I said, Mom, no, it's free. It's YouTube. And she said, oh, thank God. I've been telling all my friends to press it, and I didn't want them getting billed. So just to clear it up for my mom, and maybe for you too, that little red subscribe button doesn't cost a thing, but it does help me out a ton. So please click it, because if my mom's out here running a grassroots PR with nothing but a rotary phone and raw determination, the least you can do is click the button. Now back to the good stuff. I had a male client who told me that he loved walking, but he said he was waiting to start walking again until I found him a partner so he'd have somebody to walk with. He wanted somebody to encourage him and to inspire him to walk and be healthful, somebody to walk next to him. And I said, you deserve to be healthy now. You deserve energy and confidence, whether you have a partner or not. Don't outsource your vitality to a future maybe. That's what too many of us do. We save the good stuff, the fun adventures, the health, even the hobbies for someday. But your joy is not a reward for finding a partner, it's the fuel for living well, single or not. And when love does come along, you're already in motion. They get to join the walk. I think it's important that we talk a little bit about desperation because nothing torpedoes dating faster. Desperation is just scarcity with a new outfit. It's that voice saying, there aren't many options left. I better lock this down before time runs out. When you date with that energy, every conversation feels like a test. You're not enjoying the person, you're scanning for signs. Do they fit the role? Could they fill this gap? And the whole thing gets really tight and anxious. It's like going grocery shopping when you're starving. You'll grab anything just to quiet the hunger, even if it's not really what you want. When you date without desperation, then you can breathe. You can be curious instead of clingy. You can let the interaction be fun instead of a contract negotiation. And that relaxed energy is what makes you attractive. Nobody wants to feel like they're being drafted into saving somebody else's life. They want to feel invigorated and enjoy every new moment with you. There's a big difference between loneliness and solitude. And if you don't name it, loneliness will trick you. Loneliness feels empty. It's staring at your phone at midnight hoping that somebody will text you. It's eating with the TV on because silence feels like proof that something's wrong. The trick is to stop treating every quiet moment as evidence that you're missing something and start treating it as proof that you're giving yourself space. When you can sit with yourself and actually enjoy it, dating loses its desperation because you're no longer afraid of being alone. You know you can handle it. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't be eating in front of the TV. If that brings you joy and you're not doing it to escape something, that's totally fine. That's a different story. If I could tattoo one phrase on every client's arm, it would be this: love is not a rescue plan. It's not a cape. It's not an escape hatch. It's not a 911 call. I've seen people put their entire life on pause, waiting for love to swoop in and fix their loneliness or their boredom. But if you're unhappy by yourself, you're probably going to be unhappy partnered too. Only now you're dragging another person along into your unhappiness. Love happens to work best when you're already standing on your own 2 feet, when you've built a life that feels meaningful and fun. Then love is the add-on, the bonus, the cherry on top, not the whole sundae. You stop waiting for a rescue and start building what you actually want your days to look like. Joy is magnetic. When you're lit up about your own life, people can feel that. It changes your whole vibe. You laugh more easily, you tell better stories. Think about it. When have you actually felt drawn to another person? It's usually when they had something lighting them up, isn't it? That kind of joy is contagious. You don't have to fake it or paste on a smile. You just have to cultivate it. That way, when you show up to a date, you're not asking somebody else to supply your joy. You're bringing it with you. One of the best kept secrets of single life is contentment. Not settling, not giving up, contentment. That moment when you realize, my life is pretty good right now. Love would be wonderful, but it's not required for me to feel whole. That mindset is powerful. It takes you out of audition mode and lets you relax in dates instead of interrogating them for long-term potential. And ironically, that's the space where the best connections happen. People are drawn to calm, to ease, to somebody who's already good with themselves. Contentment doesn't mean closing the door. No, it means you're enjoying where you are while keeping the door open. And that balance, joy with openness, is where love tends to slip in. Being single doesn't have to feel like sitting in a beige waiting room thumbing through a 5-year-old magazine. It can be a chapter of real life, full, joyful, and worth remembering. When you reclaim your agenda, when you stop outsourcing your happiness, when you let solitude feel nourishing instead of punishing, everything changes. You stop living in scarcity and you start living in abundance. You stop waiting and you start enjoying. And the funny thing is, that shift doesn't just make you happier, it makes you more attractive to the right people, because now you're not begging for a rescue. You're inviting somebody to join you in a life that's already alive. All right, I hope you found that interesting or helpful. If you did, you might want to check out this episode on how to tell whether this is a person you want to invite into your life because there's potential, or whether they're just there to waste your time. Oh, before you go, there's my little mama there. It's my mom. She's asking for a little support for the channel. Can't blame her. She loves me. And I hope you'll subscribe before you leave as well. Look forward to next time. And until then, have a good one.